Marco's death wasn't flashy. There wasn't a giant explosion or some intense sword fight. No, his death was quiet, and that's what made it so painful. Marco Bott was one of those characters who felt like the heart of the group. He wasn't the strongest, the smartest, or the most famous, but he cared. He believed in his friends, he believed in teamwork, he believed that everyone, even Jean, could be a hero. And then he heard the wrong conversation. The scene where we later find out how he died is just brutal. Reiner, Berthold, and Annie, people we thought were comrades, betrayed him. They took off his gear. They let a Titan eat him. The look on Marco's face as he realizes what's happening? That quiet, panicked, wait, why? That hit harder than a Titan's punch. It wasn't just Marco who died that day. It was a piece of the viewer's trust. And the way Jean finds his half-eaten body? Yeah, that image is forever burned into our brains. This was the death that made us realize nobody is safe. This is Emmaverse Anime. Watch this video to the end and hit that subscribe button now. Number 5. Hannes, the guardian who couldn't save her. Let's rewind to episode 1. A Titan eats Carla Yeager, Eren's mom. And standing there, frozen, unable to save her, was Hannes, the man who had promised to protect them. Now fast forward. Eren and Mikasa are facing the smiling Titan again. And who shows up? Hannes. But this time, he's not frozen. This time he fights. He charges in to protect the kids like he should have back then. And just for a moment you think, yes, redemption. You think maybe, just maybe, this time will be different. But it's not. The same Titan, the same helplessness, the same tragic ending. Watching Hannes get devoured right in front of Eren again was like reliving the trauma from the first episode, but worse. Because this time, we saw the effort, we saw the courage, and it still didn't matter. Eren's scream, Mikasa's tears, and us throwing our remotes and yelling, "Not again." Painful doesn't even begin to cover it. Number 4, Sasha Blouse, the girl who just wanted meat. Okay, who didn't love Sasha? She was the comic relief in a world where joy was rationed tighter than food. From stealing meat to calling Titans food thieves, Sasha brought light to the darkest moments. She was goofy, brave, and surprisingly deadly with a bow. So when she died, oh man. It wasn't a noble sacrifice. It wasn't a dramatic last stand. She was just shot by Gabi, a kid, no Titan, no epic music, just a gunshot and a name, Gabi. What made it worse? Her final words were meat. Meat. That was her dream, to live long enough to eat all the meat she wanted. Simple, human, real. And it was snatched away by war, by revenge, by the endless cycle of pain that AOT loves to shove down our throats. The silence that followed her death was deafening. And Gabi? She instantly became anime's most hated 12-year-old. Like, congratulations, kid, you broke the fandom. Number 3, Erwin Smith, the leader who gave everything. Erwin Smith wasn't just a commander, he was a visionary. A man who led from the front, asked the impossible, and still had people follow him to hell and back. And he had a dream, to reach the basement, to find the truth. But the truth came at a cost. And that cost was Erwin's life. The charge against the Beast Titan was suicide. Straight up, no chance of survival. Send them all to die suicide. And Erwin knew it. He knew he was marching kids to their deaths. He knew he'd never see what was in the basement. But he did it anyway. He gave the greatest motivational speech in the series, then charged forward into death, all so that Levi could have a chance to take down the Beast Titan. And when Levi had to choose, save Armin or bring Erwin back? Oof. Levi chose Armin. Not because Erwin wasn't worth it, but because he'd finally earned his rest. Because dragging Erwin back into this nightmare would have been cruel. Watching that torch pass, it broke us. And every time someone says, Shinzu wo Sasageo, we remember who said it best. Number 2, Carla Yeager, the death that started it all. Some people say Carla's death was just a plot device, but for a lot of us, it was the moment we knew Attack on Titan was built different. This was the very first real trauma the show delivered. In episode 1, they didn't warm us up. They went straight for the jugular. Eren's mom, trapped under rubble, her legs crushed, tells her kids to run, begs Hannes to save them. And then she's eaten. Not killed in battle. Not even given the chance to fight, just helplessly devoured while her son watches. That scene scarred a generation. It set the tone. It told us this isn't your typical shonen. This is a world where hope gets crushed and people die screaming. And the craziest part? That Titan was Eren's dad's former wife. Talk about twisted. Carla's death wasn't just painful because it was brutal. It was painful because it shaped everything that followed. Eren's rage, his thirst for revenge, his eventual spiral. Without Carla's death, there's no story. But that doesn't make it any easier to watch. Number 1, Levi's squad, the ones who believe this one hurts. Oluo, Petra, Eld, Gunther, Levi's handpicked squad, the best of the best. Trusted, trained, tight-knit. They fought like a unit. They trusted each other. They trusted him. And then came the female Titan. They gave it everything. Strategy, skill, teamwork. But Annie crushed them, literally and emotionally. We watched as one by one, Levi's squad was wiped out. Gunther beheaded, Eld impaled, Oluo snapped in two. Petra slammed against a tree like she was nothing. And Levi? Levi arrived just a second too late. The man who always saves the day stood there, staring at the corpses of the people who followed him without question. And what really broke us? Petra's father. Remember that? Talking proudly about his daughter, how she wrote home about being in Levi's squad, how he was sure they were close. And Levi just stood there, quiet, stoic, haunted. This wasn't just the death of characters, it was the death of trust. The moment we understood that in AOT, being strong doesn't guarantee survival, and being close to Levi, that just makes your death hit harder. Attack on Titan didn't just kill characters, it killed us. Every death we talked about today wasn't just about shock value. They were layered, emotional. They meant something. Each one marked a turning point, a lesson, a scar that stayed with the survivors and with us. Marco taught us betrayal can come from your closest friends. Hannes reminded us that redemption doesn't always save you. Sasha showed us that even joy can be silenced. Erwin made us ask what true sacrifice means. Carla? She made us fear this